Well, welcome everyone to today's episode of Did She Really Say That? This is the podcast that's disrupting the world of business education and breaking down barriers for female entrepreneurs. During our podcast, you might find yourself asking the question, did she really say that? Because we're really truly challenging those traditional methods within the business world, within training, so that women can actually have more fun, actually
Hmm.
enjoy their business, play along the way, and build with ease as they learn to unlock their millions. So, we created Truth Bomb Marketing as a way to help busy women create more time and money with that simple business plan, that simple business playbook, so that they can actually start creating millions without sacrificing what's important to us as women. So, I'm one of the co founders here inside of Truth Bomb. I am Karen Angeli, and for me, I am so excited about creating a world where females can actually look at their business and go, this is fun. I'm having a good time. I'm tired of listening to females tell me that they're frustrated, that they're overwhelmed, that they're burnt out. And I am excited to create a world where that is not a reality anymore.
Hmm.
So I'm here with.
My name is Heidi Muma, and I spent the last 17 plus years homeschooling my kids and building a couple of different businesses that I was involved in. So, but my passion is to really, it's like, how do women build that business that it doesn't overwhelm your life? We go into business to have that time freedom. So, how do we experience that time freedom while we're building our business? So, that's what we're creating here.
Yep. And my name is Chef Katrina. I go by chef because, well, I was a former chef at Disney. If I knew what I did, I would tell you. I promise.
Good.
You were a former
That's
shit,
good.
is what I almost heard you come out of your mouth. I don't know if it's former or current. I don't know.
Yeah, former chef at Disney. And when you leave as a chef, you remain a chef always. That is a title that you kind of stick with. So I have been teaching and training the online industry after leaving the kitchen for the last 15 years and love digital marketing. I love working with entrepreneurs, having them break through and get to those different levels in their business, whether they're just getting started, trying to scale, hit that six figures, hit that $1 million mark, right? And the thing that I've learned with all of you women is that you like simplicity. Keep the process simple. So I love putting together just simple strategic plans that make it easy for you to do and live your life without the overwhelming complication of building this business. You can do it, and we'll show you how.
But I like being confused.
No one looks like being confused. No one likes being confused. Oh my God, lies.
The confusion goes on too long, the computer goes out the window.
Yes.
And that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that, let's just say. So
No.
I'm not a big fan of confusion, and I love marketing, and I love keeping things simple. And that has been one of my joys, is like, how do we do like one or two things and still grow both organically and through advertising, right? How do we cut down the overwhelm of, let's just say it, the posting hell. I'm going to call it the posting hell.
Constant content creation.
Yeah.
Constant.
Yeah. And that's what we're told to do.
I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I'm a weirdo. I like playing on social media. So it for me was never, but I realized this is weird. Like, I realized this, guys. Like, I'm just sitting here going, okay, I get that I'm a weirdo, but
yeah,
I liked playing on social media and being like, ooh, that worked really well. I wonder if I do something like it, what will happen? And so for me, I feel like it was like it was more of a game than anything. And I think really, like, let's like tie this all down. We're talking about marketing today. Like, let's talk about marketing. Let's make it more simple. But if you're not like me, how can you actually look at your marketing and create it as a game, like I said? Because that's really what it is at the end of the day. I feel like a lot of us feel like it has to be perfect right away. And that is one of the biggest faux pas I see a lot of female entrepreneurs make, and they stop themselves from posting on social media, creating any kind of content, because it's not perfect. It doesn't look like that Instagram perfect reel, and it's like,
it might have misspelled words.
It might have misspelled words.
Yeah.
I'm good at that, by the way.
Yeah. Well, Here's the thing
That's part
that
of my brand. Don't trust Katrina. She knows how to cook, but not spell worth a damn. Like, I know that. That's why I cook. This is why I create social media and strategies. No one said I had to spell. That's why I had you to grammar check me.
well,
Hello?
that actually is kind of a strategy too. If you think about it, there are some people out there that purposely misspell words because they want you to comment on their stuff and be like, "Hey, you misspelled that," and it's like, "I know you fell for it." Like, that's definitely a strategy I've seen people do, and I personally have done as well because I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. I want to play with that and see if that works,"
Yep.
and it does.
It does. There are the people out there that can't stand having words misspelled, and I misspell
Right.
things or I'll use different words, and I'm like, I've done that my whole life. Why do I want to change now and try to be perfect?
Well,
Like,
and also it's like at one point I was doing a lot of stuff on eBay, and one of the strategies they taught you to do is to look for you whatever you're looking for, misspell it.
yeah,
Because you'll get those people that put the listings up that misspelled it. Nobody can find it because it's misspelled.
Yep.
I mean, it is a strategy out there.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
And it's part of the fun of this, right? And I think that's where we look at, it's like, where can your marketing be fun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I'm always looking at.
I mean,
Yeah.
misspell hashtags. You'll get those outliers.
Oh yeah, Mr.
True. Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, if you like it's funny. I like to look for those weird nuances. That's the reason that I like social media so much and playing with it, because I like looking for the weird nuances and go, that worked really well for them. I'm curious. Like when you look at your marketing in that format, when you're going, that worked for them. I'm curious. Could that work for me?
Yeah.
And then you play with it and see. And one thing that I see so many people do is they have this attachment to it has to work right now. And the thing is like, does it though? Can you just play along with it and see? Now, I don't want you to be floundering for all of eternity, but can you play along with what's going on with your social media?
Yeah. Can you play with it? And I think that's a great question. And one of the things that I will say that's really become transparent, especially with Unlocking My Millions, as we take women through the business planning, right? I really wish, swear to you, 15 years ago, I wish somebody had taken me through this process, because I can only imagine where life would be. But I also know that this journey had to go this way, right? Yeah. And it required partnership and everything else. So like having learned this on my own, it still probably would have outcome probably still would be where I am right now talking to you all here on this podcast, to be honest. But the fun part around that marketing is that it is meant to help you spread your word, right? It is meant to help you get in front of your audience. Marketing is about taking your idea and getting it in front of people, right? And we've used this method for centuries. And digital marketing came around and it made it available to all entrepreneurs, and it wasn't expensive to do, that we considered it free marketing. But I think one of the big things that nobody caught up with, or nobody stayed in front of, we were chasing all these new shiny social media sites as they were rolling out, which was awesome because they were helping us. They were definitely helping us get more exposure for our business and everything else. But at the same time, we were building their business. And they're at a point now with billions of viewers that it's no longer about supporting us. It's about supporting their business. So yes, I'm fascinated by social media. Yes, I love all the nuances and they're changing things. Like we were playing around when we first launched this podcast, right? We had heard that Google had a podcast you could actually go to and put your podcast up on Google Podcast. Well, that doesn't exist anymore. And it switched over and got pulled into a YouTube channel. So now they have podcasting on a YouTube channel, which is where you'll see this also. So you'll see us on YouTube as our podcast. And then you also see us syndicated on other platforms. And syndication is a big piece of the puzzle. And as we were building out this podcast, that was one of the aha moments I had, because when I started blogging, it was all about syndication back in the day. It was, where can I get my information in front of, and who else can help me get this information out beyond me?
But hold on, Katrina. That was a
Yeah.
big word. I think we need to explain what syndication is because some people may be like, wait, what was that? I don't even know how to post on Facebook. Like, what in
Can
the
you
world
spell the
is
word?
syndication?
It's in my notes. Hold on. I've got syndication over here. Wait, hold on. I have definitions even for you.
Oh, we're
Yes.
super serious over here.
Yes. I'm just gonna make stuff up for you all. Like, we're gonna look at syndication. So many of us know syndication as, anybody heard of like Dear Abby back in the day?
Oh, I love Dear Abby.
There was like
It still exists, you
she
know.
does exist.
She
Now she's
does.
digital also.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
you guys-
everybody is.
yeah. When TV shows completed a season or they went off air, they were asked to syndicate to like TBS. Like TBS was a big one that would pick up syndication and they would replay that whole series over again. And people were like, oh my God, it's back. You know, we were excited. And so the idea was to get your information in front of more people. Newspapers do this all the time. You ever wonder why you can see a news article that's all the way on the West Coast and it's the same print, same writer is showing up in multiple magazines or newspaper articles or on news broadcasts across the world? That syndication is taking one piece of content and having everybody talk about it or share that same idea or post it onto their website or post it into their news broadcast system or their website. So like that's what syndication is. Does that make sense? We're good.
Yeah.
Are
All
you
right.
good? I'm good.
Yeah.
Now it's on Hulu and Netflix and everywhere else.
Well, and that's the syndication, like, right? Remember we saw stuff like on ABC and now it's on Hulu, now it's on Netflix, and those are syndications. They're paying to bring those episodes over there. So the actors are still getting paid, everybody's still getting paid. So it's not just a freebie they're doing, they're actually syndicating as a way to continue to create income for that show, those actors, the producers, like the whole team. So that's the power of syndication. It's to really increase your audience size and get paid for that.
For one piece of content too. Like that's the beautiful thing.
That
Like
is the
it's one
beautiful
piece
thing.
of content that's pushed into all of these different areas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why we talk about like, and it took me a while to figure this out. And it took a while for the internet to catch up to this, but they start talking about like pillar content.
Yes.
Right. Pillar content is the foundation or focus of your company.
Yeah.
And there is the ongoing support of that pillar content that you create. But so many of us still are like, what the heck's my pillar content?
Right.
And that ties back into what we teach inside of Unlocking My Millions, that business playbook. Because once you go through the process of understanding your idea, understanding who your audience is, understanding your brand, you actually start creating content as you answer these questions that we present in front of you. And because you're answering these questions as you go through it, when you get to that syndication and marketing content piece that we teach around this conversation, it is so much easier to create content. You know your foundational content. You know exactly what you're going to say. But the easy part around this, and this was a trick I learned so long ago, and I was like, I smacked myself a little bit like for not staying up with this, by the way. But I met an incredible, smart female entrepreneur. She goes, I create one piece of content and I create 12 images. Same content, different image. I can keep posting that over and like I create my syndication because she's just changing the image enough to see what captures the attention. And that brings them back to that content piece. And that's where she makes her money. It's not the posting that makes her money. It's the content that makes her money. And I think we've gotten this so backwards right now in the digital space. We think the more we post, the more money we make. But in reality, it's a yes. And it's intentional marketing, right? Are you letting these platforms dictate how you market, or are you taking control of your marketing and really understanding that your goal is to place content on these platforms to bring them back to the money?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but that's what marketing is for. I've been told the money is in the marketing, but so many of us spin our wheels trying to perfect this. What did you say, Karen? This perfect marketing?
Oh yeah, this perfect Instagram reel.
Yeah.
Look at how Instagram was set up. Like it was created so like people would be like, "Oh, my feed has to look a certain way and these are how the pictures look." And like that's like that perfection you can't get. after like come on, like that creates people being like, oh, I don't want to post on social media.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah.
Especially for busy moms and moms that have like kids or anything else that's going on, like to try to create that perfection. Life is messy.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Oh,
And
messy.
show your audience that it's messy. Because then, if you're a busy mom that is trying to fold the clothes and take care of little Joey while he's throwing up and build your business, like show people how you're figuring that out. That is super relatable.
Yeah.
People, in my opinion, in today's world, are more interested in how relatable are you as opposed to anything else. Anything, because the relatability is actually the value to them. So they're sitting on the other side of their computer screen and they're going, I don't know how to do all of this. And then that you show up in their feed and you're giving them a quick tip on how you dealt with a bloody nose while you were doing a live at the same time. Like you're literally giving them the value in those weird nooks and crannies that sometimes show up as a female business owner. Like, I mean, it's messy and sometimes it's not perfect. Most of the time, it's not perfect. Let's be honest. And it's in those times of imperfection that people are actually attracted to you.
Yeah.
That's something that I have learned over and over again, that the more that I can just be me, the more that I can just be my weird self, more people are like, hey, I want to hear what she has to say because I'm weird too.
Well, and that ties in. Like the first time I was selling back in the day, back in like early 2000s, I was selling a blogging course, right? And we didn't have the technology we have today. Okay. I was literally using Google Hangouts, which is an old school method of doing this. I learned how to embed a Google Hangout onto my website using an HTML code that I have no freaking clue. That's going to sound like I'm really smart, but I tell you, I kept it as freaking simple as possible. And then they tell you like, you want to have a chat with them. You want to engage with them. Well, I wasn't going to pay for that functionality and I didn't even know how to use it because they were starting to come out with the technology.
Yeah.
So I'm doing this webinar, right? I'm trying to invite people on to give testimonials. I screw it all up. I kid you not. I went through the whole thing. I then said, if you have questions or comments, head over to my Facebook page. I kid you not. I sent them from a website to Facebook page to have a conversation because that's the only place I knew to have a conversation with them. And they're asking me questions about the product and business. And I sold doing that. It was messy. It wasn't perfect, but the feedback I got was, you're not professional. You're showing that this is a real person doing this real time. And that I have faith that what you've done, you can show me how to do also. Right? Like you took the complication and kept it like, made it entertaining. So I was flying by the seat of my pants on that one, but I was like, I thought I bombed it completely. And they're like, oh my God, that was so awesome. And I was like, okay.
And let's be honest, we've had a lot of people, mostly you, Katrina and Heidi. I haven't really heard this because I feel like I shut it out when I hear it at all. Like my brain is like, I don't care, I'm having fun. But like, I know you two have heard from some people, like, we're not professional enough. And
oh no, that was before we got into this whole thing as truth.
Oh, okay,
that
okay,
was
cool.
Previous conversation.
Okay, yeah.
We're
So
not very
anyways,
we're still not professional.
we're still not. Yeah.
Be.
No, we're still not. But that's something that I hope more people grab a hold of and go, I don't have to be perfectly professional. I don't have to be this straight-laced person on camera or in my pictures or whatever. Like, I mean, talking even about our headshots. I know this was a conversation that I was a part of as well, talking about headshots that weren't professional enough inside of Truth Bomb. And I look at my headshot and I'm like, no, I was having a good time. I want somebody to look at me and go, man, she seems like she's just free loving and she's just having a good day. Those are the people I want in my business. I don't want somebody that's super straight laced and everything has to be this way.
Well,
like, it just doesn't fit my personality as much.
It doesn't. And I think that comes from that whole background about how business is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right. Like we have been a straight lace, like we talk about bankers, right? And they all walked in with their suits and all the guys had to be properly and professionally dressed, right? Like there was this certain like look that you had to have. But the thing is we're evolving. we're evolving as entrepreneurs, we're evolving as businesses.
Yeah.
And the reality is that there are 43% of women that are creating businesses in the United States right now. Right?
Yeah.
43% of the businesses currently owned in the United States are owned by women. That is a massive chunk, and it increases every single year. So women are starting to, I expect soon enough that it'll be over 50% of businesses in the US will be owned by women. So the question I always have, and this is something the three of us have been discussing, is how do we ensure that these women stay in business?
Yeah.
And they keep making money in business.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I find it fascinating how, since we have been starting this conversation about how women think fundamentally different than men and how we function different than men, and now I'm starting to hear all the and all these other conversations about, I was just listening to a Zoom call the other day about this lady who was talking about this seminar that she did, or conference like she did, and she was the first speaker, and she was speaking about the woman's orgasm, and about the woman's body and how and everything, and the men who came after her were like, forget it, I just threw my whole speech out. We are continuing to talk about what she's talking about, because we have not studied and talked about women enough, and the women's body, and the differences that the women experience because of how they're built. And it was just like, and she said, it's like basically her speech in the very beginning changed the entire conference. She was like, everybody who got up was like, well, I'm just throwing that out because we're going to continue this conversation. And it was just like fascinating. It was like, because it was all these men who followed her, but they all changed and realized the importance of the differences between, like, from what we've traditionally talked about and traditionally exposed, and this was a health conference, this wasn't a business conference, but it was just fascinating to me, and how a lot of people that I'm following are changing the conversation and looking at how women are fundamentally different than men. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a him against her or her against him, anything. It's how do we work together? How do we meld this so that we actually use our strengths? And what is so powerful about women, and how does that complement each other instead of compete with each other per se?
Yeah, I think that is like so important. How do we complement one another instead of compete? Because like I hate it when people, mostly on social media, mostly on YouTube, I hate it when people are like, "Oh, you're so feminist." Like, I hate hearing that term, and it's like, well, but feminism, if you actually look it up, is actually about creating equality, not about being like, "Oh, a female is better than a man, or a man is better than a woman."
It's not what it's been out to be.
It's actually about the quality of, wait a minute, like, how can we complement one another? Like, I mean, you look at the Bible, okay? I'm not super religious, but you look at the Bible, and God created man, and then he went, oh, wait a minute, like, I'm not done yet. Like, there's actually another piece of the puzzle. Like, how do we complement one another? How do we complement what's going on in business? Like, because right now, is how I see it, is that it's super masculine. There's a lot of like this heavy go, work energy. And we've missed the fact that if you actually take time to relax into your business, and instead of going, you give yourself some time to get out of this high energy, I gotta go all the time, and you go and you actually relax your brain, you relax your body, you start thinking more with your heart than any other organ, then you actually become more attractive to people at the end of the day. So yeah, you can do all this work and be super successful, but what would happen if you did work and you increased your feeling about your business, about people you're helping inside your business? How much more attractive do you become at the end of the day?
And that ties back into like the marketing conversation, the syndication piece.
Yeah.
Like, if women got, and we teach this, how to leverage syndication, you would spend less time in front of your computer, which would then keep you off of social media and all the noise that's going on in this world right now. And you would be able to take that time to be present with your family, with yourself. Take that time to meditate, be in meditative prayer, whatever works best for you. But it's understanding how to take back control and use the tools instead of being used as a tool.
Right.
Yeah, I just said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Stop being a tool. Stop being used as a tool and actually use the tool.
Yeah, that's gonna be the name. Stop being a tool in your marketing.
Yeah. I said that. You're right. Yeah. Stop being a tool. I mean, seriously, you've been used and abused and you're just letting it continue. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, take back control of your business. This is your business, right?
Yeah.
You're here
Yeah.
to make money.
Yeah.
You're here to actually like make a difference in somebody else's life. I have yet to meet a female that didn't do or create something that makes her happy and wants to better the world around her.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, so
And-
come on. Stop being a tool.
And innately, as women, I mean, for me anyways, I feel like it's like you want to enjoy the process too. You want to have fun while you're doing it, because when I was in the mode of doing all the time, especially in my marketing, because I can be a machine. Like I can be like, okay, I have to do this, 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 this. Okay, it'll be done by 10 o'clock in the morning. Like literally I can be a machine, but I realized that that was not healthy for me.
Yeah.
And so at a certain point, I literally broke down and was like, I can't keep doing this because yeah, I'm getting stuff done. Yeah, my marketing looks great, but I feel like trash. And now when I'm doing these discovery calls with people, I don't really want to have this conversation because I'm tired. Like, what would be different if it just was a little less perfect in the marketing? I was a little less on top of it, but I actually enjoyed the process. And when I got on conversations with people, how would they actually connect with me better? Because I feel more whole. I feel like I'm enjoying the process. Like it comes across in your marketing, whether you're talking one-on-one with somebody or you're on social media, you're writing an email, you're writing a blog post, it doesn't matter. Like actually giving yourself the time to rejuvenate and recharge. And this is not easy, especially if you are a mom and you're running the house and you're running a business. I get it. It is not easy to find the nooks and crannies. I don't have kids, but I do remember when I was working 50, 60 hours a week at the hospital and I was building a business. I did not have very much time, but I figured out where the nooks and crannies were that would actually make me feel good along the way. And now looking back, like I would spend more time feeling good in my business and less time doing all the work that I did back then, because I did a lot of doing. And yeah, I was working 50, 60 hours and I was trying to build the business and I was doing a lot more doing. Now, if I was to go back to that time period, I would start scheduling in time for me and me alone. Yeah. Not with my husband, not with my family, not with anyone, but
just
me
on my own.
And me alone. Yeah. And that I think is one of the most important things if you want to be successful in anything in your business, marketing, XYZ, whatever.
I don't know about you, but I feel like that's a true statement you just said right there, is that we need that alone time.
Yeah.
And I think so many times as women, we feel like we've got to be, our fingers have got to be anything. But I remember specifically when building my business, and even now as I do this, I feel like I just need a minute alone.
Yeah.
I just need to do this, to do that. Like, yeah, you know, that those are the times where it's like, okay, I just need that reset moment, right?
And guys, I'm super freaking extroverted. So if you're sitting out there going, I'm so extroverted though, I want to be with people all the time. Friggin' don't want to go to the bathroom by myself. Like I literally, if I have to do something without my husband, like he's like, oh yeah, I can't be with you. I'm like, oh, I have to go by myself. Like I hate it. Literally super extroverted. But I realized that by being so with everyone and always doing something, it was
never with yourself.
Yeah, I didn't have time to love on me.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to experience with me. Now, for me, I am going to be spending all of eternity with me. So wouldn't it make sense for me to like me? Wouldn't it make sense for me to spend some time with me, to actually enjoy myself too? to hang out with me? Like when I started to grab hold of that concept, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is new. Huh, I am going to be with me for all of eternity. I probably should like me.
Well, there's that comment they say that wherever you go, you take yourself with you.
Yeah.
So like when you get out of relationships, like you get into a new relationship, you just took yourself with you. Like
Yep.
you might be with a different person, but you might be in a different business, you might be in a different job, but you still took yourself with you.
Yeah.
So whatever upset you had, whatever you were dealing with over here, you just brought it into the next piece. And until you start dealing with whatever the upset was, and you have to look at yourself and hold yourself responsible, self accountability, which nobody really likes to do. But once you understand why you're doing it, it actually makes you feel better to take responsibility for your life. It actually makes you feel better to understand what triggers you and why you have upsets. Because the more you understand yourself, the more you can communicate that to other people, and you have less conflict, less drama in your life, right? Because you know what your upset is, but you're able to communicate how you felt about that upset or what you need to speak about. So this personal development, this getting with yourself, Karen and Heidi, we all know this is such a critical moment. And women very rarely spend time with themselves.
Yeah.
Because we're told we got to manage everything else around us, and we feel guilty.
Yeah.
Mom guilt.
Yes.
What's that one? Is that mom guilt?
Yeah.
What, you know a lot about that one?
A lot.
Yeah. I don't know any mom that doesn't know anything about mom guilt. I talk to my mom friends all the time. They're like, oh my God, I feel so guilty for this. And I'm like, oh, you gotta love yourself, babe. That sucks. But like, I think it's important too. Like, we're kind of way off topic, but who cares? Because this is great. I love this stuff.
It's marketing and mindset and everything. It all works.
It all works.
It does. Yeah, exactly. So, one piece of the puzzle is when you do spend time with yourself, what are you actually doing in that time? Are you sitting there going, this is my schedule, this is what I have to get done today, this is what, or are you actually allowing your brain to relax in that minute? Are you putting on some music? Are you dancing? Are you
coloring?
playing?
This is
Are
why
you
we create things like
coloring?
coloring and dancing and mindful senses and stuff like that inside of Unlocking My Millions.
Man, I wish I had heard this stuff when I was raising my kids.
Yeah.
My brain never rested. Never.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
if I had a moment to myself, it was usually I took that time to plan their schoolwork.
Yeah.
like I did not. It was that. Yeah, mom guilt is a real thing. It is.
Yeah.
And it's just like you feel like you have to constantly be doing something for somebody else.
Yeah. And listen, ladies, you cannot pour from an empty cup.
You can't.
You
You're not as
cannot.
good for them. If you don't fill
No.
yourself up, you're only half a person for them.
Yeah.
And that's why we snap.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Absolutely. Like when we can actually stay centered in our heart, we can actually look at them while they're having that temper tantrum and go, you know, like I really truly love them. Even in this moment, like I'm looking at them have this crazy moment and I actually can feel love for them and go, okay, they're going to learn something from this. And you start to tell yourself stuff like that instead of, oh my God, when's it going to end this time? And this is the kind of stuff that I teach all the time within mindset. Like, what is the thought? What is the negative thought that you're currently having? And we can tie this back to marketing right now. What's the negative thought you have towards your marketing in your business right now? And every time you notice that thought, what can you replace it with? Because you have to notice it first. When you notice it, that's when you actually experience it and feel it. Because most of us are running on a subconscious program and we're thinking all of these thoughts in our head about our marketing and what's going on with our marketing. And it's this thought that's now been stuffed because we're not noticing it. We're not living on a moment by moment basis. When you actually notice the thought and you actually experience it and you go, wait a minute, that's not serving me. What can I start telling myself that I actually believe that I can start inserting in that moment? Because a lot of times I see women say to themselves, if they're looking to create wealth in their life, oh, I am wealthy, I am wealthy. Your friggin' subconscious doesn't believe that if you're $30,000 in debt plus and you don't know how you're gonna pay mortgage. Like, you don't believe you're wealthy. Stop trying to say that to yourself. Instead, what if you started inserting a new thought of, you know what? It always works out, and I don't know how it works out. I don't really care. Like, what could happen if I just let this go and I allowed the universe to bring something cool to me? What would happen if you noticed when you have those money troubles in your business? You're looking at your business and going, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to pay that. What would happen if you just said to yourself, wait a minute, it always works out? Something magical happens. Let me tell you, because it's happened for me, like on weird times. I'm like, well, I wasn't expecting that. So it's just this total, like this 100% look at your business. Like, what are the thoughts you're thinking about your marketing? What are the thoughts you're thinking about your business? What are some new thoughts that you can start reinserting in that moment when you notice? That's how you create change. That's how you change your energy. That's how you change your frequency. And by doing it over and over and over again, not just 5 minutes in the morning or when you think of it, do it when you notice the thought. That's when you rewire the most, because you're telling the thought, that's not serving me. I don't need that.
And this is going to take practice. This is
Oh,
not
yeah.
like, I mean, I know that for all of us, this is something we are always at work on. So we talk about this because we know this is a key thing. It's like, where do you catch yourself? Where can you notice when you're having these thoughts? And, I still find myself going through the negative thoughts and still trying to find it. And then
Me too. Yeah.
awareness piece, right? It's like as you spend more time with yourself, ladies, as you understand what triggers you, and when you spend those times, and this is why with entrepreneurs, self-development becomes such a key critical element of our lives, because we recognize that we took ourselves into business. And so now we want to find out what we're dealing with and having to run our business and deal with ourselves, because everything we do in business is a reflection back on us. How we react to our business, how we react to money, how we react to everything, it's all on us now. So that's why when you dive into entrepreneurship and people say your mindset is a big piece, this is your self-development. And there are a lot of different paths out there that you can take to dive into self-development. We've been through a couple of different ones amongst the three of us. They all work, right? They all actually connect to each other. So you can test different self-developments, because what's interesting is they have a crossover. They have a moment where they cross over and they actually support each other. I really, truly believe that self-development has been ripped apart and sold off in different manners. But when you start bringing and weaving them back together and you start pulling the highlights, they actually work better when you start blending them together. And I think that's the beauty of understanding what it is to be a female, is because we do connect. Women are connectors, not only with people, but we connect things in our lives to make sure that it's holistically working. And when we do this, men usually take everything apart and they want to create their little battle lines and they want to do everything else. And women kind of sew that thread back together and weave these thoughts back together again. So it's so important as women that we look at, okay, let's go in, let's find out more about myself. Let's start looking at that, because we're looking at how this intertwines with our family. I know every time we get involved in something, we're like, oh, we automatically think, I swear, any kind of health product, food product, mindset product, whatever we do, we automatically think to ourselves of a friend or family member that could benefit from the same experience all the time. It's like right there. So give yourself the grace to learn inside of this and understand that marketing doesn't have to be overwhelming. And that syndication unlocks a lot of different things. And when you get curious about what your content is, and when you can learn to unlock your millions inside of Unlocking My Millions, and you learn how to build your plan that fits into your life, then you stop becoming a tool.
Don't be a tool in your business marketing, people.
Yeah, stop it.
Use the tools.
Use the tools.
Use the tools.
Use the tools. Don't be a tool.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And I really did say that. So with that, Karen, hi.
Hi. Yeah. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, because let's be honest, we're always here talking about this kind of stuff because we want to help more women actually be successful in their business and have fun and enjoy the process as they're going. If you loved this, please leave us a 5-star review. Heidi, we need your, we need your 5-star, 10-star, whatever you're gonna,
Thumbs up,
5 stars.
Five stars.
Yes, if you're on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Let us know what you like. Give us a comment. Let us know what we can share more with you, what questions you have, because we want to help support more people, get our message out, and actually help more women unlock their millions. If you haven't already, we want you to grab our newest, most amazing, like in my opinion, amazing training, because it was mind blowing. We did this last night and we want to keep doing this. Grab the Female Millionaire Code. We're sharing with you the 3 M's to actually creating the life and business of your dreams. Okay, that's a totally free training. There is a link in the show notes, and there's also a link if you're on YouTube, there's a link in the description. So go ahead and check that, grab that right now. We're currently running it live. So right now you want to jump in live and actually start asking your questions with us, because it won't be live forever. To learn more about that, also, you can go to truthbombmarketing.com/code. And with that, can't wait to hang out with everyone next time and hopefully see you inside the community. So see you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm.